I got a shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I really want to. I'm not gonna lie. I got you. I'll be right back. What's good with y'all boys today, man? It's your boy Parlay, Randy, Undertaker, the Underman, under your bed. So today, while I was at work, there was this homeless man. I was minding my business, like most of you do, and then I was getting ready to go back to my job. I'm working downtown, so it's kind of it's not packed, but it's a walk going back to your job. I mean, it's not a walk, but you know, it's a short walk. But being in downtown, that mentality, it's a long walk basically. So you got to walk. I heard something from the corner of my ear, and I was like, "Is that screaming?" I'm out of my business, I'm out of my business. I'm on the phone trying to get some shit done. Can't help but notice. I hear screaming. What the heck? So I look over and I say, "Wait a minute, is that who I think it is?" I know that ain't who I think it is. My coworker, mind you, I'm not close with her or nothing like that, but I don't know. I feel like as a man, especially as a man, when you have a lady coworker, y'all don't have to be like close, buddy buddy, but like if you know y'all share some type of relationship. Honestly, I feel like even if that's not, if you know that's your coworker and you see something about to happen, I feel like you should step in. Simple, like, and it's a hard ask because you never know what happens to who they're arguing with. It's best to mind your business sometimes, but all that is usually hindsight because you never know what really gonna happen. But if you just sit there and watch it happen, and whatever happens to her, you have to live with that. That you just let that shit happen. You know. At the same time, is you don't know what could have happened if you stepped in. He probably could have shot your ass. It's a. Sometimes you just gotta do it, and then it is what it is, and ask God to protect you in the process. Honestly, that's literally like the best you can hope for, pray for, that you're gonna be protected in the process of doing that. So some guy. So when I say some guy, I mean some homeless man. He was arguing with her. I just heard the yelling. I don't know what happened, what transpired. I don't know. I just heard yelling. So when I was going over there, and I seen it was a guy, a man, older man, not like a teenage boy. It was a man. So I'm like not trying to, mind you. I still don't know if this is completely her, but at the same time, I'm not trying to like mind somebody else's business. I don't know if this is even her, but at the same time, I don't want to sound like, make it seem like I'm nosy. But I think it's her, so I'm trying to trying to trot over there, but at the same time, I ain't trying to run, but I ain't trying to take my sweet ass time either, because who the fuck knows what's going to go down in a second. So by the time I get over there, I realize there's a man in a homeless chair, bro. So I'm getting closer and closer. This nigga rise up. I said, bro, I kid you not. The dude got up out his wheelchair, bro. Got up out his wheelchair, and I think he was about to punch him. I was like, oh lord, I'm gonna have to punch this. I might have to punch this old homeless nigga, bro. I was preparing myself to punch this homeless nigga, bro. I'm about to punch this nigga in his mouth. And not for the sake of I'm trying to impress this girl, but just because like he trying to hit her or he trying to do something to her, and I can't let that shit slide in front of me. Like none of that performative shit, performative male shit, 2026 beta male shit. No, I'm not one of those niggas who gonna risk my life for no girl. But at the same time, when in doubt, when in certain situations, especially my coworker, and I know she's a nice woman. She's been nice to me at least throughout training and stuff. You you gotta do what you gotta do. Like you gotta do like I want you to tell me what you would do in that situation. And he's in a wheelchair. It's not like he was standing and shit. But when I see him stand, that's why I was like, oh shit. Like the nigga got up out his seat, get ready to lean in and rock her out. I said, I was confused, bitch. I was so confused, bro. I I was so confused. I thought she was done for. But but eventually I got there. Security was there, the park security. He was buffing for us. So he sat his ass back down in that seat. But When I got over there, I was talking to the homeless man because homeless or not, you don't do that. Homeless or not, you don't do that. Hospital or not, like bad situation or not, you don't do that. You don't hit a girl. You've never, as a man, first of all, as a man, you don't put your hands on women, and not because it's not even about oh she did it to me first or she did this first. It's not about that. You have to understand as a man, we're completely different, bro. Scientifically, biologically, and that anatomically, whatever the fuck that word is, we are stronger. We have more inertia, more force. We have it like we are naturally bodily stronger than women are. We move faster. We're agile. We're more agile than women. They're made to carry a whole life. If we were made to carry a whole life, I'm pretty sure our body movements wouldn't be as functional as it would be on a day-to-day basis. You know, but girls have to carry. They have a different bodily function than we do. So of course they're not going to be as fast as us. They're not going to be as strong as us. That being said, a girl could just yap, 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 yap. The chances of her putting her hands on you is not going to happen. Well, in this society, I'm sorry, forgive me, it's going to happen. But that's just how little the damage is. Women hit men all the time, you know, and sometimes it's forcefully, sometimes they want to hurt you, sometimes it's just that's just what they do. Like it's an instinct because we're that strong. Sometimes, like girl hit me, I don't feel that shit. But if I punch the shit out of her with the same force that she did, she gonna feel it. She's gonna get knocked out, and that's why that like it's all about context. It's all about like the situation. That's why we don't put our hands on women. It's that simple, bro. You're gonna do more power. It's not about you being right in that situation. You will never be right. Same thing with kids. Kids, you don't put your hands on kids. And I ain't talking about like, and this is your kids and you trying to discipline. But let's say, oh, this kid hit me. And you trying to argue back. You trying to hit this kid back. Like this is a jit, little ass jit. What you trying to like get right with him for? Why are you trying to be on his level? Like those type of people who do that, I don't argue with. Same thing with elderly. A lot of elderly they go through life. They're most experienced, probably the most traumatic. What you think is gonna happen? Why you think most of them they're dealing with more diseases and more sicknesses? Their body's breaking down. They're 9 times out of 10, not 9 times, but if you meet a elder and they are kind of like shitty in a shitty mood, let it be. They went through a lot. Who knows what they went through? But I know now. Well, in that stage, they're breaking down. Their body's breaking down every day. They probably don't feel good about that. You can imagine. Imagine your mama. Imagine your daddy. Simple, bro. Like you have to have sympathy, bro. Put yourself in those shoes. Do you think someone's gonna be happy every day when their body's breaking down, or them being homeless? You not no. Be realistic. No. Man, am I saying that's okay for them to put their hands on you? Okay for them to yell at you? Okay for them to know? No. What I'm saying is, it's the less chance of them giving a fuck. You have to understand, there's a lot of mental illnesses in the world. You want to see what the government doing to us? You want to see we paying taxes for? You see what we paying taxes for? You see where our taxes goes? Our taxes don't come back to us throughout. Like, I mean, they say it do, but they pocket so much money, so much of our taxes. It don't come back to us. Our taxes don't come back to well, some of them do throughout food stamps and throughout Medicare and throughout retirements and things like that. But all of our taxes, majority of our taxes, no, no, there shouldn't be no homeless people here. If our taxes was going back to us, there shouldn't be no homeless people. Simple, bro. It's simple. We gotta pay for water, pay for food, pay for to fucking survive in the hospital, pay for medicine. We didn't choose to be here on this earth, but we have to pay for medicine to survive here. Though. You think that's fair under any circumstance? No, bro. It's never been. It wasn't intended for us. That's why God speaks to them people in the Bible. They living in vain every day. People who make us pay for these things, who make life hard for us, make us argue with each other, picking sides. Healthcare, we gotta pay for healthcare. We gotta pay to survive. We have to pay to survive. Come on, man. A lot of people going through shit. You like, where I don't know about for the younger niggas. For the younger niggas, be nicer to your parents. Like understand, especially if you have older parents, be nicer to the olders. They're not saying, like I said, they may not be right in the head, but and that's what I'm saying. They may not be right in the head. You can't argue with someone who's not right in the head. That's like talking to a wall, and you're trying to get your point across like you did some shit, and you arguing with them like you doing some shit. Like yeah, nigga, yeah. You don't get no points for that, bro. You don't get no points for that, bro. No points for that, bro. Like honestly, bro, you just gotta understand, bro. Like when you get to that age, God forbid, you get to that age, you might be having problems too. God forbid, but that's how life is. You know, especially with the foods, the chemicals that's in the foods and the drinks and like everything. I'm pretty sure everyone doesn't have like a healthy diet to the T. Yeah, bro, you probably gonna be doing those type of things. And even if they did have the healthy diet, some people still go through shit with their body, and that's what I mean, bro. So there's certain things like put yourself in their shoes. Argue with this man. What are you arguing with the homeless man for, bro? Why are you arguing with the homeless man? Why? Why are you arguing with the homeless man? Why? Say, all right, sir, keep it moving, bro. Because first and foremost, not even just for you, you don't know what this nigga packing, gang. You know what type of weapons this man got. And you trying to argue with him. Homeless man. You think he give a fuck too? He's homeless. You think he give a fuck? If he kill you? Probably not. The only thing that probably stop him from killing you or doing some shit to you is because he physically does not want to harm you. Like he really doesn't like harming people. Doesn't is not violent. But them niggas on their last leg. You really think they give a fuck about doing anything to you? And yeah, you may say, "Oh, I gotta defend myself." Why are you in those problems anyways? Leave them people alone. Leave them alone. That's it. Special ed, children, elderly, and homeless people slash, I guess the crackheads, they all belong in the same category. They're all vulnerable. They 9 times out of 10 don't know what's going on, and not like conscious, but it could be a mix of not conscious, like in themselves, and just being too young or too old to understand what's happening because of sickness or because of brain function. Older women, older men, brain starts to turn into fucking mush. You think they finna understand what's going on in life? They ain't finna be on point with everything. Same thing with children. Children not their shit too fresh to even understand life. They don't understand life. They don't. So that's why they're more impressionable. That you gotta teach them. They're able to accept everything though. So and it's like the vice versa with adults or the elderly. They don't accept things that they already learned, that they haven't learned at least, because they've been through life for so long. How can you teach me? You know. But that just goes to show, like, bro, don't argue with a homeless person. I had to talk to him. I had to, I had to calm him down because he thought we was gonna jump him, and the whole time we wasn't finna jump, buddy. We wasn't finna jump him, bro. I wasn't. I wasn't gonna let nobody jump him because they were they were kicking him while he was already down, and obviously, he was arguing with the lady, obviously, but like he's already bottom. Mental illness is real. He's already at the bottom. Just leave it alone. It's better to leave it alone. People don't understand that. People rather argue with the homeless man, rather rather argue with the older lady. People out here punching older ladies in their face when they say something to them, and it's hard to defend. Can't I will never defend. I don't give a fuck what the lady said to you. Because first of all, words don't hurt unless that shit come from somebody you love. Words don't hurt. Yeah. And it depends what those words are. Like if it's for someone you love and they say some shit like they don't love you or they don't like you or whatever the case is, that may hurt. But when it's about your character, about and you know yourself, and people say this and that, words don't really hurt like that. When you know yourself, when you know who you are. And I'm just basically saying, bro, don't let nobody get you mad to the point where you reacting. If a homeless person say some shit to you, let it slide. Go on about your day, bro, and say God bless. And go on about your day. You're not finna win. You're not winning anything punching this nigga in the face, punching this homeless man in the face. You're not winning anything. They have nothing to lose. You don't argue with people who have nothing to lose. You don't. You don't argue with grandmas. You don't argue with grandpas. You don't argue with them people. When I see people be punching on these grandpas that get into arguments and shit, I be like, bro, y'all niggas, y'all not good people, bro. Because God forbid your grandma is fussy today and shit happens. And a nigga like you, girl like you, go back and forth with her, and then they don't give a fuck who you, give a fuck who you is. My hands on you. It's over with. That's why I tell my mama, don't say things to provoke people. Just because you old, think they ain't gonna touch you. There's people out here who will do that shit to you. I seen it. I seen it personally, and I seen it fucking on social media. So I really just wanted to let y'all boys know about that because I feel like a lot of people they don't have no compassion. You know, they don't have no empathy. They don't think about what somebody could be going through. So I kind of just wanted to hop on here, kind of like explain that to y'all and tell y'all my story, what I saw, and just tell y'all my opinion. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we all need to be loving each other. You know, and we can't do that if we find our grandmas and shit. We definitely can't do that.